Well, we're here outside the Valemount Legion with Corrine Allen, who is a volunteer with the Honor House Society and a retired police officer herself. Corrine, welcome to Valemount.
Thank you very much.
So can you tell everybody what you are doing here on this tour?
The tour is all over BC, and it's in regards to Honor House Society. We are bringing awareness to the Honor House and Honor Ranch, and it provides safe housing and free housing for our membership, which are military, emergency services, police, fire and ambulance, as well as sheriffs and dispatchers, either serving or retired. And if they need medical treatment down in Vancouver for any reason, they can stay at Honor House, and it's free of charge. And then we have Honor Ranch, which is for group settings, and a group comes together and creates a program for themselves and about operational stress injuries, and like something like PTSD. And if they come up with a program, we had art therapy up there. They were building axes, and they had the artisan and the forges and those kind of things. Then you can go up to Ashcroft, where the house is located, and stay there and get some treatment, and slowly, little piece by little piece, get healthier.
Okay, well, I heard you describing it, sort of comparing it to Ronald McDonald House, in which patients or family can come up and stay free of charge. Is that correct?
That's correct. So that is Honor House. So it's an 11-bedroom home that has 2 kitchens, which are accessible. There's 2 sunrooms, a major living room for everybody to congregate in. There's a games room in the basement. There's a playground outside for the little kids when family have little kids, and they can come and stay and be in a safe environment while they're going through whatever treatment it is that they're going through. And they take care of themselves while they're in there, and the volunteers help take care of the rest of the house at the rest of the times.
And that's something I wanted to ask you about, because I understand the costs of running a facility like this are astronomical, but they're offset because your operations are totally run by volunteers. Is that correct, with just one paid employee?
Absolutely. Craig is our one full-time paid employee, and he runs the operations administration for both Honor House and Honor Ranch. And then we have a part-time bookkeeper to keep CROA happy and away from us. Otherwise, it's completely run by donation of time, donation of service, donation of supplies, and then the financial contributions, like the union, like the Legion here tonight, generously donating to Honor House and Honor Ranch, corporations and individuals donating their time in a big way at Honor Ranch itself, help making it habitable and fixing fences. And they did a fire break during the fires last year. They went up there, 77 people went up and created a fire break so that the ranch didn't go up in flames. At the house, we do the same. The volunteers take care of the main portion of the house, the gardening, the small repairs. If you need a red seal for something, Craig's really good at trying to find somebody who has that expertise and can come into the home and fix it, so that we can maintain this service of free. For those people who take care of everybody, we need to take care of them in any way we can.
Right. Now, how long has Honor House been operating?
Honor House opened in 2010, and since then we've had 13,000 nights stay. A little bit less stress and a lot more safe.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what about Honor Ranch?
Honor Ranch opened their doors in 2019. Unfortunately, pandemic, we had to close down for a short period of time, but then they opened up again in 2022, and we've seen quite a few groups go through.
And once again, completely funded by donations. There's no government support, or there's no strings attached to that money.
Yeah, no strings attached, done purposely so there couldn't be strings attached. The society wanted to have their own policies and parameters on who we want to reach out for and take care of, and we didn't want to have the government's intervention. So it's fully donation driven by, like I said, by human STEAM, myself a volunteer. So I became a chambermaid after 29 and a half years as a cop, and I'm quite happy doing it. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. It makes me feel good. You clean, you do all of that stuff. And then Honor Ranch, everybody that takes care of the ranch that's local is all volunteers too.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so this tour of honor that you're on, you've gone all through Yukon, I believe, and British Columbia. Is that correct?
Yes, bringing awareness, going through events like this tonight, going through expos, just doing a meet and greet, stopping on the side of the highway, finding counterparts of mine saw a conservation officer who didn't know about us, and they just pulled a Yui on the highway and went back and talked to them. I stopped, I saw your local RCMP constable, the only one on a Sunday, and talked to him on my way here tonight. So it's just about raising awareness and bringing people to Honor House and bringing the donations, like specifically the financial donations, whether it's one-off or the corporations, community-driven. Communities have done softball tournaments and donate the proceeds. Customer Appreciation Day, like the hot dog and pop, and the proceeds are donated to Honor House. We heartfully and gratefully accept all donations so that we can continue again to give this free to the people that take care of us.
Well, that's wonderful. And right now we're standing in front of a beautiful Humvee. And why don't you tell us what this is about?
Well, the Humvee was donated to us as well, which is fantastic. It's a 2005, fully, I guess the full-sized Humvee, because it's not the mini one. And it's on raffle right now. So if you want to go to honorhouse.ca, caveat, you have to live in not live in BC, you have to be in BC to buy the tickets. I tried to buy it in Montana. Computer knew I wasn't in BC. So honorhouse.ca, and you can purchase the tickets for raffling on the Humvee, which is drawn on September 28th. And there is also a 50-50 on the same site.
Okay, so that's great. So, I mean, obviously this is not going to air before you leave, so people who do want to get involved, where do they go? What is the website?
honorhouse.ca. So honourhouse.ca.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much for doing the wonderful work that you're doing. It's a fantastic thing that you're helping many people, and all done from the heart. And we welcome you and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. I'm in the last 3 days of 8 weeks, and it's fantastic. I've heard nothing but great things. So I thank the communities, all the communities in BC and Yukon. Amazing people, amazing support. We appreciate it.
Great. Well, thank you and best of luck.
Thank you.
Regardless of the uniform, I'm the president of the Legion in Valemount, and we present this check to the Honor House Society for $1,000. And what else to say? Yep, that's it. This check for $1,000.
$500 for Honor House and
$500
for Honor Ranch.
Okay, I didn't read that part.
And the Honor House Society thanks you greatly from the bottom of our heart.
Yeah, well, thank you from me on behalf of all the people who get to use your service.
Absolutely. 100%. Thank you very much. Clayton, I believe it was you that was in contact with Craig to invite the Honor House Society. I'm representing them. I'm one of the volunteers here to wonderful Valemount. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous area. I spent 18 months in Blue River at the camp there, so I know this area. It's just fabulous. Mosquitoes, I can do without. My name is Corrine Allen. I'm a retired Vancouver police officer. I worked for 29 and a half years. And then I said goodbye. I wanted retirement, and it didn't work out so well. Just before I was retiring, I volunteered all my life, and I decided that I wanted to do something else because I was in the midst of not knowing what I wanted to do. And I found out about Honor House, and I was in part of the application process. And I hear the name Jeannie Yee. Well, Jeannie is a friend of mine. We go way back. I'm better friends with her wife because we work together, like a lot more. And neither one of them said anything about Honor House, and they knew I volunteered. And Jeannie, Honor House has been open since 2010, so that was 10 years before I retired. And it's in the same city I live in, which is New Westminster, and I had no clue. So for the full 10 years and however long Jeannie was on the board, nobody said anything to me. So forget about 6 degrees of separation. I was 1 degree of separation from Honor House, and I had no clue that it existed, that's why this tour of honor is really important, raising awareness for what Honor House Society can do for the military, emergency services, police, fire, ambulance, sheriffs, and dispatchers. This outreach is amazing. Craig Longstaff, who runs both the Honor House and Honor Ranch, he said with the Tour of Honor this time around, he's getting phone calls already to see if Honor House or the ranch can actually do something for the individuals. So it's fabulous. Besides yourself, Clayton, anybody know anything about Honor House Society? Little bits or lots? Little bits, lots. Okay, so anybody know Joe? Last name? Elliot. 25 days, 25 nights. He stayed, him and his family, for his daughters, for their medical procedures, whatever they were. Honor House itself was a brainchild of our president, Al DeGavna, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm hoping I got it right. And I'll play a video and he'll tell you in his own words in regards to what happened with Honor House and why it came about. And then I'll talk to you in a few minutes again. Okay?
My dad is a Mountie, and I don't know, I just kind of always probably was going to follow in his footsteps anyway, so I said, okay, I'll become a Mountie.
I knew I wanted to be a paramedic when I was 8 years old.
From a young age, I used to run around the farm in Saskatchewan with a sawed-off hockey stick. It's something I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid.
Started out as an air cadet actually over in Victoria,
And I was one of those little kids that never got out of it.
Not a big fan of camping, so the Navy was the life for me.
It doesn't really matter whether you're a fire, police, paramedic, border guard, you know, we are all from a common family.
When we got hired as paramedics, we never had a list of different things. These are the different things that you're gonna see. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and traumatic injuries of children didn't really used to bug me, but now when I do a call with a pediatric patient, it's tough.
In 2012, my twin brother died in Surrey. The detachment commander in Burnaby said, you know, I know all your family's coming into town. Do you have a place for them to stay? I said, well, no, I guess they'll stay in a hotel.
By coincidence, one night a TV was on, a documentary came up called Peace Warrior with Captain Trevor Green. Watching that documentary and seeing the rehab that he had to go through with his wife Debbie and at that time his little girl Grace, to think that, you know, our Canadian Forces men and women, you know, when they get injured, don't seem to really have a place to stay. It's a home away from home for Canadian Forces, first responders, and their families while they're getting treatment at VGH, GF Strong, Royal Columbian.
As the spouse of an emergency service member, you really see those families whose lives have changed in a split second. We've tried our very best to make sure that it has the comforts that these families would experience at home. There's privacy in having your own suite, but then with the communal living and eating areas, we find that it really helps families to connect.
People show up at the house, a lot of worries, and they come in at the house, and just for a minute you can get to sometimes see that they kind of forget why they're here. They're in awe of the house.
Everybody has stressors in their life, but when you add on top of that some of the stressors for first responders, whether it's military, police, paramedics, whoever it is, there's extra stress.
The unfortunate thing is that that has a cumulative effect over the years. It's almost like wearing a backpack and every time you go out on a call, you put another item in that pack until that pack gets too heavy.
And we're not really good for asking for help, so a lot of paramedics struggle with even saying, hey, I need help, or, you know, I'm in a time of need. We never see ourselves as the one that's going to be the patient.
With the uniform comes a lot of pride, thinking that I can deal with situations or problems on my own and not wanting to seek help.
Seeing that commitment from these young men and women who give each and every day just drives me to see that they get the tools, they get the support that they need.
You know, the more you think about it, it was a chance for the whole family to be together for that whole week or 2-week period they were here and mourn together and kind of just be as a family.
Anything that reduces the level of stress for the soldier or the soldier's family is greatly appreciated.
What would you say to somebody who came up to you and said, How do I give back to first responders? How do I give back to the military?
My God, how did people give back?
Yeah, a lot of people actually ask, you know, I wish I could do something for you, or I wish we could, you know, can I get you a coffee or something, but we never have time for that coffee.
Sometimes people don't even know who the first responders were that helped them in that time of need.
You know, from what I've been through, I can tell that I've changed a little bit.
It's very much appreciated, certainly for some of my personnel that have had the ability to utilize Honor House.
The sponsors, the volunteers, the people who put this together, we can't thank them enough for the tremendous service they have provided for our men and women in uniform.
Organizations like Honor House give me a sense of comfort that the Canadian population does care.
We're a charitable and nonprofit society, and we really rely on donations. We rely on fundraising to keep this house open and free.
We come in very quick and we're gone very quick. So I think Honor House is really a way that the community can adopt their first responders and say thank you, and we appreciate what you do, and we're here for you when you need help.
So I volunteer with Honor House at the Society. I did the 29 and a half years as a cop. I am now a chambermaid. Never ever thought I was going to be a chambermaid, but I am a chambermaid. And I'm actually really proud of it. We, not only does our membership include who I told you about, it includes our spouses, common law or otherwise, and our children. For Honor House itself, any medical treatment whatsoever that you have to go down there for, everybody knows how expensive Vancouver is. That's why you're probably one of the reasons why you're not living in Vancouver right now. One of the reasons why I'm leaving Vancouver. But with all of the stress and all of the heart hurt that they go through, the individuals, our guests, the financial stress is one that they don't have to have anymore. If you're retired, as long as you've served, you can take advantage of this and have a safe place for yourself while your family or children are getting treatment, or for your family if you're getting treatment. It is amazing. There's 11, you saw the house, there's 11 bedrooms in there. All have a private bathroom, so you have your own enclave. There is a guest suite outside, so if you have immune issues, or if you're going for PTSD and you're going for counseling and you just don't want to be around people, you can say it in the laneway guest house. There's a playground for the kids on the land. It's just amazing. And there's restaurants locally. There's all the SkyTrain and any transit you want if you don't want to drive. There's a beautiful park. It's in a really safe, beautiful area, and it's there to be utilized. And it's free. You heard, I'm not going to try and pronounce her last name. We get all of our financial assistance through fundraising. There's no government money. So the government can't come in and go cut the funds. You now can't. You have 11 bedrooms, but we're only going to fund you 10. Or they can't say, well, no, we don't want the emergency service in there now. We want this other group. So it was done purposely so that we could target the people who take care of us. We need to take care of them. So it was done very purposefully. Thank you. I like audience participation, helps me out. As it goes on, he's an ideas man. He's amazing. He finds out a story about another military individual, and Joelina. And Joelina and his story kick-started the ranch, and that's our next video. Al suffered from PTSD, so I will tell you that he did not survive. So they do talk about his suicide. So just a forewarning, okay?
I don't think a mother ever gets over the death of their child. He had said that he didn't believe in suicide, that it was not the hero's way out. It must have been an excruciating decision for him. Joe was a very, very generous person. Somebody needed something and he would be there and he would help them. The first time he was in Afghanistan, things happened and you'd wait for your child to phone you or to email you or tell you that everything is okay. Joe didn't talk about what he'd done, but you know what his role is there, so you know that he's been involved. Going to war, offering your life on a daily basis, most of us do not do that. And most people do not know how to be with somebody who is having problems from all of that.
In May of 2016, he was medically released from the military because he didn't meet the universality of service. The release was hard on him. This was something he had done for 15 years or so at this point, and that's, of course, a big change in anyone's life to be told you have to leave.
He had put so much effort into being a good soldier. There was a lot of anger there, but I think there was also a lot of sadness. I knew that he had PTSD, that he needed help that he wasn't really getting. While I can accept that he's dead, I think that it's such a shame that he's dead, that he didn't need to die.
We're on the Honor Ranch property, about 12 kilometers south of Ashcroft towards Logan Lake, and we're on 120 acres overlooking the South Thompson River. The purpose of Honor Ranch is to reach out to our uniformed personnel and their families, both serving and retired. It's important to us to let them know they're cared about. They're so often the ones helping us in our time of need, and we want to be there in theirs.
Knowing Joe and his struggles that he was going through, he was my motivator, my inspiration to see that Honor Ranch happens, and here we are today. Here at the ranch over the last little bit, it's been intense. We've had people laying paving stones, the infrastructure, water, sewer, insulating, just cleaning up, getting it organized.
We've had many groups come up here now, right from civilian volunteers to military volunteers to first responders.
Our volunteers are the backbone of Honor Ranch, right down to the young cadets, to the senior RCMP officer that just retired. Without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. The passion, the support, it's been a magical journey in the last 190 days, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
We want to deliver evidence-based treatment and therapies in a variety of different ways. There can be equine therapy, you can participate in ranch activities, or you can sit back and enjoy watching the ranch go by while you're getting treatment or therapy.
It's not a one-night, overnight fix. It will take some time. We're here for them because they've given so much unconditionally, 365 days of the year. No one needs to suffer in silence. Joe won't go unforgotten.
I think Honor Ranch has the possibility to be really beneficial to our first responders, our military, our vets who are struggling. It is a magnificent location. You can see for miles and miles around. When Joe left the military, he talked several times about having a compound in the middle of nowhere where he would feel safe. I know he's not the only soldier who feels that way.
From what I've heard, it's going to be very individualized. Being out in nature, working with animals, and a beautiful setting, those are great places to start before you add in individually what each person needs.
We have to support these people, and we have to do that as much as we spend time and money training them to do the job.
So I had the privilege of meeting Joe's wife on, I think, day 3 of volunteering, day 3 or day 4. She is an incredible lady. She's our CMP officer, so she's part of our family. And she's trying to give back because she not only saw her husband go through it, she's gone through her own portion of it because of living with, what she saw her husband go through. And as a cop, you have your own events, like we all do. She's just amazing. I can't say enough about her. Honor Ranch opened up in 2019. Joe passed away by his own hand in 2018. It's very unfortunate. Nobody needs to take their own life. If we can get those programs or those places where they have a refuge. Honor Ranch is for groups to go up. So post-traumatic event. Somebody organizes a group, gives what I call a business case, sends it to Honor House Society, and it identifies what they're wanting to do. There was art therapy. There one time I saw, Craig showed me pictures, a group of people went up and made axes. So they had the forge, they had the artisan that knew how to do it. They spent the time, all of them having their own challenges, but they spent the time together doing something productive, creating something and healing a little bit at a time. So you put the business case, you find your people that you want to go with you, and then you find your practitioners to go up with you. So you bring that up, and then you bring up your food, because there's a restaurant-style kitchen, massive kitchen, and then there's an eating area and a deck, and there's 10 outbuildings that you heard about. You can bring everybody up there for 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever it is that the program is that you have created for your group. Again, free of charge. And we're able to do free of charge because places like your Legion, who have generously donated money to Honor House Society, we thank you very much. From the bottom of our hearts, very grateful. With the donations of time, you saw up there the military going up for 1 day for their cleanup and building stuff. We've had some of our other partners in this who have donated time and energy, 77 people up in 1 day with the fires, so building a fire break, because they were worried that the farm was going to succumb to the fire. So the small things, the cleaning, the painting, the fixing, hammer and nail. If you need a red seal stuff, Craig has been able to find people that have those skill sets so that we can keep the cost to nothing for our people, so that we can give them a safe place to try and heal a little bit at a time. The house, one of the biggest numbers that I love. We've had 13,000 nights of maybe not restful sleep because of what's going on, but restful sleep because they haven't had to mortgage their house because they need to stay for 3 months. They just don't have to worry about it. They have to get down to the Lower Mainland, but they don't have to worry about that after that. It's like Ronald McDonald House. You share the environment, you bring your own food, you take care of yourself, and that also helps to being able to take care of yourself. So with this drive, bringing awareness is huge. Like here, the 3 people knew about Honor House. You heard I didn't know about it, and I lived in the same city, and I had no idea about it. So we're bringing awareness. All the funds that we collect in this tour, our fundraising, go to the management of Honor House and Honor Ranch. We have 1 full-time person, Craig Longstaff, 1 full-time. And then we have 1 part-time bookkeeper, so keeps Canada Revenue Agency away from us. And that's it. So all of the other funds go directly to the maintenance, the upkeep, the everything, because it takes a lot. I was talking earlier, the ranch is looking at equine therapy. So they're looking at getting horses. They've got the corral and the stables, but they're trying to figure out how to do the rest of it. So they're always forward thinking, always thinking about other things that can help. So the Humvee that I'm driving out there, it was donated to the society, and we're raffling it. So the tickets are on honorhouse.ca. The caveat is you have to be in the province of British Columbia. before I came out here, I'm doing the last leg, I was visiting my sister in Montana, and I tried to go online, and the computer knew I wasn't in BC, so it wouldn't let me buy the tickets. So we have that. Also online, we have a 50-50 raffle for those of you who don't want a Humvee, but maybe want to have a chance to win money and generously donate. We have memorabilia here for sale. All the proceeds, again, go to the home. And then we have pamphlets. Please take the pamphlets. I've got way more. Take the pamphlets, take the stickers, get the word out about us. If anybody can volunteer, if the Legion here wants to go out up to the ranch on a day, because you find out from Craig that there's something that needed and you want to put a group of people together, just let Craig know, because the manpower, all of the stuff that he can get done by volunteer hours also reduces the cost of what it takes. So I thank you very much for having me here in your home. The Society thanks you very much for having the generosity to contribute to its cause. And if you ever need anything, please feel free. You need to reach out because we don't know you need it. You need to let us know you need it. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
It's just a privilege for the Village of Valemount and Branch 266 to welcome the Honor House representatives here. The work that they do for not only just our veterans, but also first responders, the list goes on. If they identify a need, they will help them. That is such a unique program. And such a needed program, both in their ranch operations in Ashcroft and their house operations in New Westminster. Thank you so much for having a program so tailored to what post-service might look like and what a new role in moving forward might look like as well. Thank you so much. Cheers.